the glands and their weaknesses when blood is flowing okay through them. It's always the lymph, not the blood. You can use niacin for high blood pressures. I'd rather use a niacinamide, but I actually go to the cayenne garlic with other herbs in there to dilate, gently dilate the vascular system and have blood moving more. Nettles does the same thing. There's a lot of them that does some dilation there. Ginger a little bit does that, little ginger tea. That would be recommended as opposed. Niacin, I don't know, pretty flushing. I don't get into isolates anymore, but B vitamin isolates, I don't bother. They're water solubles. I don't really care too much about that, except for the vitamin C's. No way. You want the whole flavonoids, and you're assured if you eat fruits and berries and melons to get the whole flavonoid complex. Get away from isolate thinking, and you'll be a lot better off. But again, niacin and niacinamide are good stat Bs to have on hand in case you're a stroke, heart attack situation. Niacin would be really good then, even though that's still a lymphatic problem. Remember how we talk about cholesterol or calcium, both of the body's main acids, and you're going to see that plaquing everywhere you see the retention of acids. And that's generally systemic, head to toe. So it's just a thing to look there. Dr. Morris, you have lost weight. You get a big kiss for that one. I've been working on it. Thanks, dear one. Appreciate that, my dear. I'm working on it. You know what? Some of you got a different look at me now. You see what we're involved in here, and you see the stressors, and you see all this. And it's just life. Like I said in the school, you guys will do better than I. I wasn't able to retain a lifetime of all raw. And I don't think realistically, if you got the truth out of most that claim, you're going to see some, steamed and stuff like that. And so you're just going to see some of that. For those that are living in caves, you can just about do anything. Okay, this is talking about this fever yesterday. Is a virus-caused disease that is spread by mosquitoes, and I find that interesting. I can't even pronounce the name of it. A long fever. I don't know. These words are beyond an old country boy, but. Virals are antigens. They don't cause it. They attach to cells. That wouldn't be a causative factor in my opinion. And any time that you have culturing mediums like you have in some of these countries, you're going to have these problems. Yeah, there's a lot of viruses, a lot of microbes out there, plain and simple. But detox, detox, detox. It's the only solution you're going to find repetitively to your answers, because repetitively, it's a lymph system that becomes the culturing medium. It's a sewer system. Can't blame the culturers, have to blame the culturing medium. We have to get more savvy on what we've been doing in some of these countries with the starches and the milks and dairy products and the high proteins. This is universally broken down the GI tract and kidneys in people. High protein diets. Bad, bad, very bad. And a lot of you now are seeing that and are getting on board with that. A lot of good comments about the nuts and how they're feeling with the nuts. So you're just seeing a lot of people promoting the lower side of life. We want the higher side. We want the highway to Wellville, and that's where you guys are walking, and you all have done some fantastic stuff. I'm so proud of all of you. I can't tell you enough. And appreciate being strong with us and following this, and all of us becoming as one. This is all of us. This is not one over another. This is all of us becoming one, working out our differences and carrying on and getting deeper into the world of Wellville, because that's also the world to Godville. Also the same road. Spam-Man, hey honey. I've had dandruff for years now, on omnivore, vegetarian, vegan, been raw, fruit raw 5 months, and it was still there, like nothing stopped. Well, realistically, sweetheart, you want to get into some fasting and stuff maybe if you can't afford the herbs. The herbs make all the difference in the world, I can tell you. I just learned when I smacked the herbs together with the foods, the raw foods, you couldn't beat them. There was nothing like that. Outside of that, each one by themselves are a little slower than both together, no question. I would really honk on the herbs, though, if you can afford it. Afford a few, and you know where your problem is, since the skin is the third kidney, and dandruff is not what I really want to see. That means your lymph system's backed up in your head area, sweetheart, and we don't want to stay there. That's not good. Because we like to think, we like to see, we like to taste, we like to smell, we like to remember where we put things sometimes. That's a problem about being in the now too much. What was that? It does offer you some other unique opportunities to grow spiritually and to learn how to operate life beyond the mind and using the mind when you can and when you need it. But the fact that nothing stops it means that you're really lymphatically loaded up. Clean the gut. Got to get into the GI tract deeper. Use Lymphatic 1 capsules 33 times a day. I would. I'd also use stomach and bowel for a while. Use the GI Broom if you can afford it. And you're not moving your bowels too much. Get into the kidneys and adrenals, dear one. That's really, really key here. You can use hot and cold applications or showers on the head, but that's not going to stop it. I mean, the reality is this is internal, this is a systemic problem, and this isn't blood oozing out your scalp, it's lymph, and it's just your lymph system. And this is that, but it shows how backed up you are, dear. And this is just common, though. I mean, we're facing a world of this, so don't freak out. Just go after it. And don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. It can take you a while. I don't have your eyes to give you an insight to that, but I can tell you that in what you're saying, you're pretty backed up lymphatically. Definitely got to clean this whole trunk out to get the top of the tree to come down. Since I was only getting like 1,400 calories, dump the calories and you'll be better off. If you forget that whole concept of calories, your life will be a lot better, dear. Latest research is showing the lower the calories, the better. And if your mom's freaking, she needs to review these videos and get beyond that, because it isn't about calories. And if you're getting thin, you're malabsorbed, which would go right with interstitial lymphatic constipation, meaning your lymph system's backed up all the way up the tree and into the head, which is common, which is a classic problem we have. And don't get frustrated. You could have chronic bowels if you're a young lady in a world like this. So don't freak out, honey. Just understand what you're up against and then just go after it. Tear it apart until you get your remedy. Because there's remedy. Always remedy doing this. Always, 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 always. How long it takes you depends upon your genetic weaknesses, how toxic you are, how chronic things are in you. That's all. So no matter what it takes, if you just have to understand the road you're walking on, that's number one. You can't get frustrated. You just know what you're up against. And then you're loaded with knowledge to go after it. Anything else is not going to get you anywhere. Can't treat it, can't stop it, can't suppress it. Those wouldn't be smart. You want to keep expectorating, keep everything moving. Very, very important. Especially up in the head area. Not a good place to be backed up lymphatically. Candle your ears, see if you get a little break with lymph drainage, whatever. Far above rubies. Ah, new picture. Dear one. Love the name. You're talking about me in this video. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, you got a beautiful name and a beautiful smile, dear. I can't wait to... Oh, good, good, good. Your protocol is working to heal me completely good of MS. Good deal, sweetheart. Do not stop. You will get over that. Do not stop. If you have brain lesions, make sure they're all gone. Use upper circ, brain and nerve. I would. The new brain and nerve. Really move those kidneys, get those adrenals up. As you clean the cerebellum, that'll straighten you up that way. Everything will be well. Keep me, Rohan. You're quite... Rohan is a very handsome man. Isn't he? I thought he was a very handsome guy there. A lot of women like that guy. There was a lot of handsome dudes there at the class. I thought for you ladies, that was pretty good. A lot of handsome guys. Good-looking guys, muscle builders, a lot of good guys. Those people that come in to sit with me, though, I want you to be healers. You can't just sit in and sit with me. I want you to be healers that do that. This is important because I have too many people wanting to come in here. So just make sure you want to help others. That's key. And dress accordingly. Oh, this is W-I-O-L-A-G-I-E-G-I-E-L again. You are not just... Oh, thank you. I love you too, guys. Listen, take care of yourselves and keep going. Appreciate watching the videos. Anything that you need to holler out there. I'm going to try to catch up here one of these days with your questions, so please keep resubmitting if I don't get a hold of them. We want to make sure we help every one of you. Every one of you that needs help, it's available. We've got people growing on YouTube so well. These guys are getting smart. People at the class, it was unbelievable. Snap the answers right out of there. I tell you what. Medical doctors wouldn't want to pit our group against theirs, would they? It would not make them look too smart. Fruit fairy. Beautiful. Gee, beautiful picture. You know, Rohan, remember the 1,000-petal lotus. This should be the day you remember that. Been taking on Rohan a little out-of-body traveling. Hi, dear M. I was with you all at the class in spirit. Thank you, dear. Yeah, I felt a lot of souls in that class that weren't just taking the class. I was telling the class, I give lectures all my life. And I've given lectures where the room had no physical beings, but the room was literally crammed full of souls. I've had that before, and you could see them and feel them. I had that in Texas once where no one showed up physically, and I wasn't, real sure. High Mexican town, a lot of Catholics and stuff, so I didn't want to upset them or anything, but I wanted to introduce them to another level of thinking, and no one showed up on that particular talk, but boy, was the room full. I did another big talk at a big seminar, and this guy told me later he remembers going to bed and then pulled right out of his body, and he went right into the talk and was listening to me out of his body. Is that cool stuff? This is what this is about. Tapping into our more omnipresence, our omniscience, tapping into that highest part of ourselves and getting above these lower areas and making these lower areas more fun and more happy and less suffering. But yeah, it's all karma, so I have to kind of roll with the punches. Lion Man, you still out there? I haven't heard from you in a while. Many abundant blessings will flow forth. Oh, thanks, honey. I just have a quick question that I didn't think I've ever heard you mention. Oh, good. What is the maximum length of time you think that one could do the GI Broom for? Interesting. I'm currently on the second round of just lemonade. Ooh, that's pretty strong. For just was 10 days, and now I'm aiming for 42. Wow, that's a hell of a fast. 42 days on lemons, more than I could do. That was real strong, so don't over try to do it. I'm on the 8th day. I've been doing the Broom for 7 days on and 4 days off, and finally seeing sulfur. Look how much work it is to break that loose. I think that those that have come here and talked in general conversation realize how much work I've done over the years to identify these problems and then to try to find remedy for them. A lot more work than what people realize we've done here through the years. And so you see how much work it was to break your sulfur loose. This is the problem, and there's just no antidote. I've got a good medical doctor friend, Dave, and he just can't find an antidote for sulfur. And so we'll see where it can come out faster, But you're doing it. I can't tell you the length of time with that. There's nothing there real toxic at all. I mean, they're just astringents. They pull. There's the clays that absorb. So we're pulling, we're absorbing, we're cleaning. But I wouldn't overdo it, I think 2 boxes are probably pretty good, and see if you got that sulfur running. If you got that sulfur and everybody breaking loose and running, you're good. If not, you can use it some more. Beautiful picture. GONNY417. Yeah, I love pictures like that. I'm a big, anything that's God to me, I don't care what religion you're in, it's just it's exciting to me, because it's just the ecstasy and joy of being closer in reality to that which is undefinable in physical words. There's no words to define the joy and ecstasy that one has. And there was one guy in particular at the talk that was an out-of-body traveler, particularly astrally. And you can't explain to people about that kind of joy unless you've had these. And it's just letting go. And those of you that are getting healthier are starting to feel the joy. And that's what this is about, guys, is getting yourself healthy, getting out of this ridiculous disease concept and treating diseases and this kind of ridiculous theories and concepts that are actually antagonistic to nature. You never want to be antagonistic to the mother or the father, if you know what I mean. Just got some horsetail. I live in mid-Florida near Tampa. Hey, you're right above me there, dear one. How do I grow it? I can't wait to go through your page. Well, I'll be honest with you guys. I am not really I'm a clinician.